everyone.
Happy Monday,
Happy
everybody.
Monday today. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Um, yeah, but it's been a slow day today, huh, on the news, right?
slow news day today.
Yeah.
I think, what most of us saw this morning was the Megan Fox controversy regarding her witch practice call out. So
Yeah.
basically, there's a politician. I forgot what senator, what his name was.
Robbie
It
Starbuck.
Starbucks or something?
Robbie
Yeah.
Starbuck.
Robbie Starbucks.
Yeah. And I
I
think
thought
that's
that was a stage name when I first saw it today. I was like, who's Robbie Starbucks?
I mean, honestly, the first thing I think of is that he has to be related to Starbucks. The Starbucks
Yeah.
thing.
I
Like,
didn't.
why would I've never heard of anybody having that last name? I
Yeah,
don't know,
I thought
maybe
it
I'm
was
just like
a screen
sheltered.
name or something.
Yeah.
Like, who's that? Um, anyway, he basically called out Megan Fox publicly regarding practices that she mentioned in terms of a counterattack on him. So he basically was mentioning, her children, her three boys are dressing in girls' clothes, and he was I guess he had a personal experience, right? So he mentioned he had a personal experience because they lived in the same gated community, and that he allegedly, several years ago when he lived in California, mentioned that he witnessed the nanny being told by the kids that they don't want to wear girls' clothes, and the kids were distraught and telling the nanny that, and the nanny was consoling them in the park, and he witnessed this because their children used to play together and stuff, allegedly. And he said one other parent witness was there as well. That goes unnamed and uncited. But basically, his problem is that he believes that she is forcing her three boys to dress in girls' clothes against their will. And he's citing, child abuse. So that was the whole thing. So she fired back, and being I don't know what sign she is, but when she gets pissed, even with the Machine Gun Kelly, if anyone saw that, when she found out that he was texting someone or had some kind of tryst with another woman, I'm assuming it was. uh,
I believe in Vedic astrology. I think she is Ashlesha rising. I could be wrong, but I think she's Ashlesha. She has Ashlesha nakshatra somewhere that's prominent.
oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's very fiery. Like, she is one that doesn't like just sit there and tolerate things. It looks like she will do something publicly to come back in full force. Like what she did to Machine Gun Kelly when that whole cheating scandal broke, is she followed his arch nemesis Eminem, so which those two have public feuds. So she does things in a grandiose manner to make a point. So I
She
think
makes a
that's kind of
point,
what,
yeah.
yeah, that's what she basically did today. So on her Instagram, she posted a story that she would be perched up in Mr. Starbucks lawn eating a deer. Like, there's a picture basically of these witches in a Canadian forest that someone caught in their camera, of these witches like feasting on a deer carcass. And she shared that story and basically said she would do that in his yard, because he messed with the wrong mama, basically. So,
Yeah.
so that's pretty much like what happened or what transpired. So there's a lot of controversy. She is receiving a lot of backlash, heavy backlash about indoctrinating her children allegedly in this, gender fluid kind of realm. But she's claiming that, her children, her one main son, there's one primary son that she has that dresses fully in girls' clothes, and she's just made mention that she's trying to understand it and educate herself and buying books, but she doesn't want to force her son to wear boy clothes if the son doesn't feel comfortable with that. So there's a lot of like speculation and controversy regarding this whole matter from both sides. So, but mainly she is getting a lot of hate comments. So that's pretty much the gist of the situation. But how do you feel about what you just heard? What do you think about this crazy news that's dominating our headlines today?
I think it's all just theater. I think it's all for theater. I think it's all just some kind of way to distract us from legit stuff that is going on that we should be paying attention to. Who cares about little cat fights between two wealthy, very highly, extremely wealthy billionaires? Who cares? I don't care. I can give a crap. Sure, we can go nitpick and judge all we want, but okay, so what's the what good is that doing for us by, oh, how dare you judging so and so, or judging on both ends of the spectrum? Are we really helping our situation right now? Like at the actual stuff, like boots on the ground stuff happening in our own cities? Are we actually doing anything? No, we're not. We're paying attention to stupid social media drama that is all for.
Yeah.
I have a speculation. I remember I was saying earlier, I believe a lot of this crap that they have in the tabloids, it's all for show. I really do believe that. I don't think that people would have the gall. Maybe some do. Trump, yeah, I mean, Trump is one of those where he wouldn't have a care in the world and he'd just say what he said. But I don't think that there's that many people that are going to be like looking for drama out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Why? Why is that important? And why, Robbie Starbuck, are you so concerned about a Hollywood star? If you have an issue, guess what? If you're going to try and judge a Hollywood person, which we all know Hollywood is just corruption and a sham, why do you care? You already know what it is. Why don't you focus more on helping people in the communities and in the actual cities of what's going on? Okay. Instead of trying to say, oh, look at her, look at this. She's already got enough attention as it is. You're basically just feeding her more attention. So shame on you as well. It's like, I don't, on Robbie, right? And so it's like, if I could talk to these people in person, I feel like I would have a lot. Well, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe if I was face to face with them, it would be different. But if I could and I had the balls to actually do it, I would absolutely want to say something like that to them. Be like, what the hell? You know?
Exactly. There's a lot more pressing issues that we need to focus our efforts on than
Yeah.
frivolous,
And
childlike
that's what I mean. Like,
behavior.
remember what I just said? Like, if I just realized what I said, maybe in person, see, maybe in person, I wouldn't have the balls to say that. See, this is the problem. People are hiding behind a keyboard. They don't have to worry about if they would act completely different if it was face to face. Are you going to say that to that person in their face? So, Robbie, are you going to say that in front of her face, right to her? Would you really say that to her? Would you? No, you didn't. You're saying this because you're behind a keyboard. And then both of them. It's like it's just BS to me. I think it's a waste of time. It's fun for drama and just for show, right? I mean, let's all be honest here. It's fun to just see the theater because it's a show, it's entertainment. However, I think people, when they don't realize that it's actually just theater, they take it all serious and they forget about their own life. They forget about what's actually impacting their personal life. That's the whole purpose they do this, is just to
Oh
divert.
yeah. And this is this type of stuff I think we have to be cognizant about,
Yeah.
especially as we approach like election season and things that are really going to matter, and understand like what future realities await us, and not focus on, so much of this stuff that's hearing, with the whole alien issue that happened in Nevada. I even have controversy on my side of the family that's like, no, that's total nonsense. Like, with the like actual aircraft, and that it's like, the government is really hiding like these otherworldly mechanical objects.
I think that was a hoax, because why is it that nobody else got footage from their phones? Everyone has a smartphone. Everyone has a smartphone nowadays. Hell, oh, just on point right away. Everyone and their mom. How come, I wonder, there was nobody who had footage on there? Okay, yes, we can say the argument, oh, their phones got confiscated because the men in black, we could also look at that too, sure. But everyone? Everyone? Like,
You know how fast you can airdrop and send something to someone, or
exactly.
mass text?
Live.
Like,
Someone could have gone live going live, you can't delete that. That's already there, right? Unless,
Exactly.
I mean, sure, there's gonna, and okay, another point too, sure, they might go in and try and delete the live afterwards, but that would take a process and time over many other phones. And on top of that, hoping that no one who's been on the live, who's been watching that live, didn't record it at that time. I think that they're trying to ploy another diversion. That's
Yeah,
all
so
they're doing.
yesterday there was more footage released. It's like trending now on TikTok, like where the family members, I think there's like three guys and a woman, that are opening the gate to the back area where there's, heavy equipment. And
Uh,
they're like, oh, look, it's in the tractor, or, it's it's in the
what?
excavator. And it's like people are trying to zoom in on the video, like, oh, see, there it is, it's in the shadows. And it's extremely grainy, like, oh yeah, when there's an alien, all of a sudden my iPhone turns into
Oh, I
like,
know. I know.
one from 2002 or something.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden when we need to have actual clear footage, and that's in every iPhone, the best cameras out there, the most clear. Oh, just during that part,
And
check it out. Yeah.
yeah, so the teenager that gave the interview, he was like, his story kind of changed a little bit, where he was mentioning like, oh, we couldn't really see because it got blurry. Like my vision wasn't blurry, but like the object was like masking itself with this like blur effect, a filter. The aliens come with filters. So, and also if we watch the body cam from the police officer and the ring camera, it sounded like a hard crash that wouldn't make just a little circle in the sand, like an
Yeah.
impact. It looked like a sonic boom, like it was impactful. The ring camera on someone else's door was shaking. So, like, where did the craft go? If it crashed,
Right.
how is it operable? Why would they be trying to operate heavy equipment? These alien beings are so advanced. Why are they in a freaking dozer? Like, whoo,
Exactly.
we're gonna
Right.
go in the lawn. Whee! we're gonna drive home with this. I'm
With their
sorry,
Bud
it's just
Light.
like, yeah, they're drinking a Bud Light,
Can you
having a
imagine
good
a
time.
gray, just a gray on a tractor, drinking a Bud Light with a trucker hat on?
Anything's possible. We're gonna see it all in 2024, I think,
Yeah,
too.
we'll
Like,
see all of that very soon
I
here.
think that's kind of like why this whole non-binary, all of those non-identifiers are very prevalent. I feel like we're being prepared. Like, this is a controversial side of my brain thinking about this. Like, are
Mhm.
we being prepared? Because every time they show an alien, it has no genitalia. Like, if you heard a crash, like there should be an indentation. I would imagine if something crashed from the sky going at that velocity, there would be some kind of crater or something. Not like a little sand circle, like like Reiki, where you rake the sand.
Yep. Yeah.
It looked like a gentle raking of the
It
sand in a
did.
circle.
It
Like,
really did, like a Zen garden. Bunch of bullshit. Is if they're willing to put on the headlines, the tabloids saying a cop said in comment, yeah, I saw it. Okay, Mr. Cop, show us more proof then. I know you have more. It's bullshit. It's so annoying because the people that aren't awake enough to realize this whole tactic being played are getting bamboozled big time. They're getting bamboozled.
oh, the family was so terrified. They weren't terrified. They were like, the cops were laughing with them.
I know. They were just standing there,
They're like,
no
don't pull
big
us here.
deal. Like they were just hanging out. No one was like,
Yeah.
you didn't see any faces of like, oh, you didn't see anything like that.
Yeah, I would be like that. I'd be like, holy shit.
And I'd be
I'd be
freaking
freaking
out, looking for a place to hide because I'm freaking out.
Yeah, I would almost like want to challenge myself to like go up to it or touch it. Like, what's the worst thing it could do to me? Like, bite me, or if you think of it like an animal, like,
But
oh my
then
god, I touched an
then
alien.
if they bite you, that could give you like a terminal illness, though. I'd be
Oh
scared
yeah,
of that.
or maybe it'll cure
Like,
you.
what is that? What's that? Acute radiation poisoning,
Oh yeah.
and like literally like melting away, and ugh. Just a show. It's all for show. It's all to keep us distracted. I know there's some people that want humanity to go extinct. I do believe that. There are some people out there that actually want that to happen legitimately. But I think majority, higher percentage is that we don't want to go extinct. So,
Yeah.
That percentage of those who truly, truly, deeply want humanity to go extinct is lower than the percentage of those who don't want to go extinct. So, in order to not go extinct, we have to have a balance around, wanting to at least like bring some kids into the world, right? To have some kind of goal to continue to replenish and continue to, or not just if you don't want to have kids of your own, help those in need, kids that need homes, and actually help them, not just like take advantage of them. Kids that are into fosters and people pretend like they're good families. There's some good families that, yes, take in kids and adopt them and are good parents to them. But there's also many cases where these foster kids end up committing suicide because these homes that the CPS um, deems as a good home end up turning into pedophile homes, or they torture the kids, or they do things that are bad and they don't find out till later. It's so fucking sad,
Lack of oversight and such a need for the children to be placed that they don't even do a vetting. They're like, oh, okay, these people are on a list, and they do a lot of things that are bypassed in protocol, and then
it
this
makes my
happens,
heart hurt. Yeah,
and ultimately it just impacts an innocent life that just wanted a home to be loved.
just wanted a
And
home, wanted parents, wanted to be loved. um you know it makes my
yeah,
heart really hurt. I'm getting emotional now because when I think
you
about it,
know,
it really does bother me. I can be hard on my kids sometimes. And I know there's a lot of things I can work on myself to become a better mother, right? But I mean, no matter what, in the end, I'm always going to remind my kids how much I love them and how much they mean to me, even if I am hard on them sometimes or they make me mad. And, I have a hard time being able to calm myself down. And like, not like get like mean or say like, no, go away or whatever, or, parents, it's not easy to be a parent. But one thing is for sure, they know that they're loved. They know that they are very much loved. And these kids, there's a lot of kids out there that they question that, you know, they don't know that, they're living a life.
yeah, they don't feel it, they don't experience
They
it.
don't feel it at all. And it's like, that really hurts me because it's like, man, they imagine like growing up as a child and you don't know if anyone loves you. That's so sad. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Horrible.
It's just really
It
sad to me.
happens a lot. I think that's why there's such a big drive right now that people are kind of coming out, even if it seems like out of the woodworks, to protect children. Like,
Yeah,
I think there is an importance to protect innocence and not expose children to sexual things, or,
yeah,
what's the point of it? Why do we need to do that? We need to let them, like, we all kind of wish, I wish in my heart that I got to redo my childhood. Like, why do we want to take that innocence away and strip them of that, because they'll never get it again.
right.
The kids already grow up too fast. They're too exposed to certain things, like on tablets and social media. There's too much almost, and it
And
would
on
be
top
nice
of that,
to,
like high
yeah,
school. Remember in high school how difficult it was just going through high school? Like,
so hard.
people are fucking ruthless. Teenagers are ruthless to each other. Kids are
They're
ruthless to
vicious
each other.
little
They're
shit.
vicious. They're judgmental. You go through people like kids, teenage girls and boys commit suicide because they're being bullied. Just imagine, like, at least they have parents. I'm not saying that they weren't going through detriment, or whatever. I'm not blaming anyone, but I'm just saying, just that happens. So just now, on top of that, imagine a child growing up without no parents and no love, no home to call a stable foundation for them, and it just makes my heart hurt so bad. And it's just not right. It's not right. So it's important to um be there for those who are victims or people who don't have a good life. Make sure that they feel
Definitely.
good about themselves.
It's very important that we all have a better sense of community. We're all, society is so divided, and this is such a big thing. This ultimately impacts our children, and I think we need to
Yeah,
prioritize their needs too, like over societal wants, and desires. Like, we really need to focus on what kind of generation are we bringing in? Is it healthy? Like, what are we doing right now? If, is it going to cascade to where it's going to have a very negative impact on their mental health in the future